Top Rope Reality episode 114.
114. That is a lot.
That is a lot. I'm Mike Hogan.
I'm Justin Kyle.
And we have to start off with some disturbing news today. Just found out a while ago.
Right before we went live right here.
Yeah, right before we went live. Mr. Fuji has passed away today.
Yes, when he went in the Hall of Fame, he was already in bad health. He had to be pushed out in a wheelchair and everything. So it's not shocking, but still sad. And, you know, we send our condolences out to his family and friends and all the wrestling community that is affected by that.
Oh, yes, most definitely.
He will be missed. That is for sure.
And they probably got a pretty good video package for him this Monday.
And WWE.com has already put out a video, an article, and everything.
Yeah, I know, because he managed Demolition, Powers of Pain, Yokozuna, Don the Rock Morocco.
He did do that.
I mean,
you said Powers of Pain, right?
So Powers of Pain, yes, because we made the switch.
Yes.
At Survivor Series where he dropped Demolition and picked up the Powers of Pain.
And I think he also did Crush individually without the Demolition.
Yes.
At a later time.
Yeah, when he was still.
Yes.
Crush.
When he went back to doing a little bit of makeup when he went heel against Macho Man. I believe Fuji was with him at that point.
Yeah, I think you are right.
For a little while.
Yep.
Because remember, when he was Kona Crush, he had the bright colors. Then when he went heel, he had a dark singlet and he had some black makeup on his face for a while.
Yes, he did.
Went back to the makeup, and then Fuji came back around for a while.
You are correct, sir.
I try, even though most of that was before my time.
Okay. What can I say?
Can you say that you're old?
I am old, but I don't remember that part about Crush too much. I didn't really care about Crush.
I liked Crush. I liked it better in Chronic. You know, they didn't really get their just due because they were in WCW, but... WCW.
Well, let's go on to our next thing here. I mean, it's
another sad thing here.
It is, but it's all Raw. Our next our topics are all Raw topics.
Yes, they are. In injury news, Finn Balor at SummerSlam injured his shoulder.
Yep.
Even though we'll talk about it, you know, SummerSlam results in a minute. But if you don't live under a rock, you know that he won and became the first, which nobody can take that away from him.
No.
He was the first ever WWE Universal Champion, but he had to relinquish that belt, and he will be out for 6 months, and he's already had successful shoulder surgery. You got to take that slow. 3 S's, that's a tongue twister.
Yes. In Birmingham, Alabama.
Yes, you know, we live right down the road, and yet we never get to go bombard these people while they're trying to have surgery. It's not like we would, but still.
Just bust into the operating room.
I'm surprised other people don't get in trouble for that, honestly.
That is true. Also, from Raw, they made an announcement this past Monday that the Cruiserweight division will debut on September 19th.
Yes, and they have the first 4 names already announced. We already knew that Rich Swann was already part of NXT before the Cruiserweights came around, so that's obviously a good choice to go ahead and bring up. Brian Kendrick, we knew that they had talked about signing him
Some
anyway.
other guys they want to bring in,
Yes. Noam Dar, who...
That's a good one.
I guarantee you Finn Balor was a big name to get him in because, I don't know if you saw before his SummerSlam match, him and Noam Dar were working out together and hanging out together and stuff. So that's good for Dar, for sure.
Most definitely.
And then I bet you TNA right now is kicking themselves in the rear end because TJP, also known as TJ Perkins, also known as Suicide, also known as Manic, will now be on the Raw roster.
Monday Night Raw.
Just think about all those people in TNA that have been so much higher up on the roster than TJ Perkins, and yet have never been to the big show, never been to the WWE, never been to Raw, but he is already there. That's pretty sad on their part.
That is pretty good, though. And it will make the division good. Now, I'm still wondering.
That's 4. I wonder how many they're going to do.
But they still haven't mentioned about the title.
Right, I think they're going to wait to mention that until the finals.
If they don't, if the winner of the Cruiserweight Classic doesn't get a title, doesn't get
then
the
they'll
title,
do a whole nother tournament.
Then one of the two we think are going to win it and not have signed will win it.
Yeah.
So I'm still going with whoever, you know.
Is Zack Sabre Jr. and Kota Ibushi? Kota Ibushi. If neither one of them is signed and either one of them go to the final, if they're both in the finals, obviously, then there won't be a title.
No.
But unless they wait till the last minute to sign.
Yeah.
Which some people wait till the last minute to sign so they get more money.
That's true.
Which is very smart. But the first 4 names, very excited about them. There's a lot more on the Cruiserweight Classic that I want to see. You know, I want to see my boy Tony Nese on there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's quite a few others. Cedric Alexander, I think, is a given.
Yeah, that'd be stupid on their part if they didn't sign him. And
I mean, even if he did NXT at first, I'd still be happy with that because the
and
NXT crowd loves
you
it.
know?
Well, they did. Triple H has said that
Cruiserweights
Cruiserweights will be on Raw, Cruiserweights will be on NXT, and Cruiserweights will be on NXT Live
And the
events.
most matches, like the women's matches, will be 2 on Raw. There'll be 2 Cruiserweight matches. That's only 4 guys.
It's only 4 guys.
Unless you do a tag team match. But right now it's only 4 guys, so they're going to run most of them, you know.
On live events.
Yeah, and
So,
also on NXT.
Yes. Because if, let's say you have 8, let's say they do 4 more names, and you have 8 Cruiserweights to start out this division. Okay, so that's 4 guys that are on the show, which they rotate all that out, which is fine. They may even put 1 on Superstars,
Yeah.
which is fine. That'll give you 3 matches a week, whatever.
Yeah.
It'll give them time in the ring. But most of their time will be spent on Raw live events, NXT live events, which is good. They need to be spread out like that. And, you know, because I think they could do at least, you know, 10 to 12 in a division, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think starting out with 8 right now on Raw would be good, and do another 8 to 10 on NXT alone.
Yeah.
You know, I think that would be good, but they've got plenty of names to choose from the Classic. But for 32 of them, there will be a lot that won't be getting signed.
Not now. Maybe in due time.
Yeah, I mean, if they keep going with this division,
They have like 90-something in the behind the scenes and the performance center, 90-something people, I believe it is.
So, I mean, they may sign them and put them to developmental deals. Some of them need to be in developmental deals. Some of them don't need to be, because some of them, that would be a slap in the face, really. Like Tony Nese does not need to be a developmental deal, but someone maybe like the one that had the big tall hair, maybe he could do a developmental deal. Kenneth Cameron, that real tall, skinny guy. And the one that dropped the most weight that lost in the very first match again, Metalik, he lost against him. He was he was not my cup of tea. That was the one I told you I really didn't like at all.
Yeah.
I mean, he had some decent moves, but I mean, if they bring him in, they need to put him in developmental.
Well, if you saw the tapings,
the guy from
if you saw the tapings from NXT, they have a few on the weeks coming up. From a few guys who are out, or a few guys that are still in the tournament. So.
Not only on the NXT tapings that they're doing random matches on NXT, and I don't know, some of these may not wind up on the show, but during the Cruiserweight Classic tapings, for the next couple of rounds or whatever, they're having random other matches like the Bollywood Boyz and tag team matches. They may just be for the live crowd.
Yeah, something, because they need that. They're going to need something, because I cannot imagine doing 3 matches in 2 hours. That's a
right.
That's the finals. 2-hour final, and you only have 3 matches. So.
Yeah, I think the 2-hour finale, they'll go over the matches that led. Obviously, they'll do a recap of every round. Obviously, like let's say it's Ibushi in the finals.
Zack Sabre, yeah.
And Zack Sabre. So they'll show clippings of each match that they did to go up. But I think that the semi-finalist and the quarterfinalist and all that, I think they'll have different matches. You know, I don't know if they're only doing 3 matches, 2 semi and 1 final.
That's it.
So they'll probably
they've done the quarterfinals already.
Yeah.
So they're done.
So they'll probably do, you know, in 2 hours they may do 2 more matches.
And bring some more people back. No tag matches or something.
Yeah.
So. Also, we skipped over that on Finn Balor, though. We had to drop the title.
He did have to.
This Monday on Raw, they're going to name a new Universal Champion out of these 4 men. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns,
of course,
Kevin Owens, and Big Cass. Yes, I did not stutter. Big Cass from Enzo and Cass, yes.
At least it's not the Big Show.
Yes, at least it's not the Big Show.
But, I mean, obviously Big Cass and Enzo don't need to be split up anytime soon, so you can already go ahead. Unless they really want to shock people, Big Cass is just there to get over, to be different, to make a different opponent in the main event type match. it's basically going to come down to, which would be great if Kevin Owens won the belt, but honestly, it's going to come down to either Seth or Roman. Honestly. Yeah. Which I really hope that, they're just going around about Ray to just give it back to Seth.
No, hopefully too.
Because Roman...
When Raw ends Monday night, I want to see either Seth Rollins or Kevin Owens be the new Universal Champion. If Roman Reigns is the new Universal Champion, then I ain't got to worry about SmackDown. SmackDown's going to take off and leaps and bounds, whatever they do.
I agreed with you when we talked that it's going to do nothing but help SmackDown if Roman Reigns is the face of that brand. But, yes, they've got a lot of good things going. I think that Fatal 4-Way is going to be good, but Seth definitely needs to go ahead and get that belt.
Yeah, then you go back to what you said. Heel champion with face challenging.
Exactly. But then, of course, you got to figure out who the face is that's going to go after him. Because Roman needs to stick with Rusev. I think there's a lot more mileage they could do with that feud.
Yeah, now what I think would have been, I know they didn't want to have 3 heels in there, but I think Rusev should have been in there.
Rusev, because if Rusev was in there, then Rusev
pitiful. I mean, I understand they're doing with Cass, but pitiful way. Rusev just walked away. Why would you walk away from a chance of becoming the Universal Champion?
You said Rusev walked away?
Yeah, he just got counted out.
Really?
Yes, he didn't get pinned. He got counted out. He just left.
Huh.
Yeah, I know. It was a pitiful way for Cass to win.
But it would be interesting, though, to make it to where Roman loses in that Fatal 4-Way.
There's no DQ, so he can come in.
In a Fatal 4-Way, there's no DQ, which they never used to say that back in the day.
Yeah.
But because of that, Rusev could come in and destroy Roman Reigns, or they could fight off, and then now you're down to a triple threat.
But the way WWE does it, they'll fight off, and then right toward the end, Roman will come back and win the belt.
Yeah. Of course.
And piss everybody off.
Everybody.
One more thing about Raw before we switch over to NXT, we're going to go to NXT. Bayley finally made her debut. I wish it was on SmackDown Live, but she is now part of the Raw roster.
Yeah, they're heavy on their women on Raw, which is going to be interesting because they've got 3 of the 4 horsewomen. But of course, I mean, they did that just to alleviate the fact that Sasha's going to be out for a little while. But I mean, and it puts her right in the title picture, which is good.
It does, but they don't jump too soon at it. Make her work for it. Make her.
Which I don't think she'll beat Charlotte right off the bat. She doesn't need to beat Charlotte right off the bat. But you never know. They may do it that way.
And the Dudley Boys say goodbye to WWE after 1 year. So they are officially, the way the word's going around, they are officially done. It's no storyline, no nothing like that. They are done.
I could have swore up and down the way they did it with getting beat up by Gallows and Anderson. I was like, oh.
They just said they made them look, they got to finish their move on Shining Stars, and they got to build up Gallows and Anderson, which they don't need to be.
They don't need the help. They don't need the heel heat at all. I don't think it helps them at all because they still get cheered.
Yeah.
If you ever notice that. But, I saw the point in how they did it, but at the same time, they did stand tall as they left. Yeah. At the very end. That's how that made me feel about. But,
because I thought maybe, if they kept saying goodbye to Raw.
Maybe they were jumping to SmackDown.
Since they haven't announced the person, which we're going to talk about in a minute.
Yes, we already know the last team now.
Posted it. It's not official.
Nothing's official, but you know what kind of shirt one of them wears?
Yeah, I heard. But I mean,
just saying. I know this here is covering the shirt, but
yes, professional shirt.
There it is. Boom.
But I mean, it was okay. The Dudleys, they come in and did what they're supposed to do.
I mean, they put everybody over, which was good. I mean, I think they could have had that 10th title reign. And maybe that was one of the reasons they decided to stop.
And they're going to burn bridges, and they'll be back if they can.
I mean, they said when they walked back there, Vince and the whole locker room gave them a standing ovation.
Yeah,
I mean, they deserve that respect. But, Velvet Sky also posted on Twitter that she's been looking for this guy, and it was a picture of Bully Ray, and she said, he's got a lot of unfinished business. But please do that unfinished business in Ring of Honor or New Japan or, House of Hardcore. Please don't go back to TNA. He does not need to go to TNA. If lo and behold, he decided not to sign another year contract with WWE just to go back to TNA to be Bully Ray, then I'm going to be very disappointed.
I like seeing Bully Ray in Ring of Honor. I think that would be good.
It would be good. Would that? I mean, because he can let loose. Because I do agree with Velvet Sky that Bully Ray is not a PG character, and it would not work at WWE. It would be watered down, and that does not need to happen.
Right.
So what he needs to do is he needs to get buy the rights for the Bully Ray name.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he needs.
They'd probably give it up. I wouldn't surprise me if they give it up, so.
Right. It would not shock me.
No,
but that's it for Raw. But up next, NXT reports are out that, speaking of TNA,
yes,
that Eric Young is believed to have finally, took him forever, signed with NXT and is awaiting his debut. Maybe he saw where James Storm was leaving and he's like, whoa, gotta jump on this before he gets signed. So he doesn't overshadow me.
That's also true.
So hopefully he'll be here soon. I mean, they need a lot of names. They lost a lot of names.
They did.
I mean, with Samoa Joe getting his rematch, could he be the next one to come up?
I believe he will. I believe when he doesn't win
the rematch at the next takeover,
he'll definitely be making his debut. Hopefully on SmackDown Live.
I hope so too.
So I'm tired of Raw getting all,
I mean, they got SmackDown got Heath Slater and Rhino.
Yeah, if they win, which we'll talk about that.
They
got to win the whole thing though.
See, that would be a great story. I know they want American Alpha, but American Alpha's young. They got plenty of time to win the belts.
Also,
okay.
We'll talk about them. Hold on. But also for NXT, we also have they signed Tommy Inn, which I know much.
Don't know anything about it.
He was at the takeover though. He was in the audience.
I've heard the name, but I don't know who he is.
Crazy Mary Dobson.
Yes, she has performed on NXT before, jobbing out, but she's quite a character. I don't know if they'll let her play that same character or not.
Well, they're not new. The one they're debuting, Sanity. Said it could be any one of these.
Any one of who?
The new character debuting soon, called Sanity. Could be Eric Young, could be her, could be Tommy Inn. Could be any one of these three.
Why would it be Tommy Inn? I wonder if that has anything to do with his character. I mean, it's crazy, insanity. I mean, that kind of makes sense. But Eric Young also plays a crazy character, too.
Mm-hmm. So
maybe they're changing him up. I mean, Sanity may not be the name of the character. Sanity may just be a snippet. Maybe next week we get another snippet and it's a different name.
That's true.
Different names that all coincide with the same thing.
I love how the announcers looked at each other going, I was wondering about that when they saw the video.
What they did know was going to be there.
Yes.
But yes, SmackDown Live.
SmackDown Live.
They now have tag team titles, which I'm so glad they look like nickels and not pennies.
The silver and blue look good.
Silver and blue.
I wish it was different. I wish it was the same.
Not copper.
I wish it wasn't the same style. I wish it was a totally different style. But if they're going to go the same style, I like the silver and blue better than the copper.
I mean, I get the whole, they're keeping the same style. Well, number one, it makes it easier to make replica belts to keep the same plate. It's just a different color. It's not copper, it's silver. Same thing with the Universal, the WWE World, and the Women's, all three look exactly the same, just different color schemes.
That's true.
Which I'm okay with that. It makes it easier to replicate those.
Oh, yeah.
Probably a lot cheaper to deal with that because they use a lot of same material.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, but they look good. They definitely, both the titles look real good.
And the women's title is literally the same thing as the women's title over there on Raw, but just blue, right?
Yeah. White strap, blue background.
Which I like the white strap, but I'm glad it wasn't a whole blue belt
no,
like the Universal's red belt.
I think
they learned that quickly, didn't they?
Let's start doing all red.
Like, oops.
But at Backlash, we'll find out in the six-pack challenge for the women.
First ever six-pack challenge for women.
Who will walk out
we'll get
as
a steel
first
cage one day.
SmackDown Women's Champion. And we'll find out in the finals of the tag team tournament. They set the tournament up to name the new tag team champions of SmackDown Live.
Are we talking about that later, or are we talking about that
We'll talk about it now, yes.
Because I didn't see it anywhere else.
There's nothing else, Jay. You can talk about it now.
So, we've already had who all went through, because you watched SmackDown.
Yes,
you remember?
yes, the Usos.
The Usos went through. Who?
American Alpha.
American Alpha.
And Usos.
And the Usos. So those two face teams have gone through.
Yeah.
And it's going to be 4 teams to go around to the next level, right?
Right now, if the tournament, the way I saw it is, the next match will be Alphas against Usos. So they will not be in the finals. Only one will be in the finals.
I don't like that.
So
I don't like that.
Then they got the Vaudevillains taking on the Hype Bros, and they got Heath and Rhino taking on whoever's supposed to come in this week.
Which the mystery.
Yeah.
We will talk about it because it's been publicized.
Yeah. It may have, it may not. It could be just something might be different.
They could have put their foot in their mouth and gotten rejected, but I like the idea. Because usually when we have these specialty tag teams where they randomly come in, it's Grandmaster Sexy and Scotty 2 Hotty. It's the usuals that you see.
I just hope they look decent.
Have you seen them?
No.
I have them both on Facebook.
They look decent.
Even some other people have commented on Facebook that they look better now than they did back then.
Well, that's good, because I don't want to make them looking flabby.
Look, the tall one,
yes.
not the first name is Glenn, the taller one, not the one that did the beaver stupid thing. You know what I'm talking about? No, that's Chance. Not giving full names yet. The taller skinny one.
Yes.
I think he either he owns or operates a gym.
Well,
so that's good for him.
I want them. Trainer. If it's them, I want them to look good, not too flabby, out of shape people that look like they're about 70 years old.
They both. I got them both on Facebook, and they both look really good, especially for their age. But who we were talking about, one of them at one time, well, both of them were flying nuns. One of them loved his mama so much.
He did.
That it only lasted one match. Old Beaver Cleavage. Yes, you heard that right. Beaver Cleavage. He was also Chaz with the Lowdown. D-Lo and Chaz with Tiger Ali Singh, but you didn't remember that one.
Which somebody was joking that's who it's going to be. It's going to be Lowdown.
It's going to be Lowdown. That's going to be awesome. And then, more famously though, they were known as the Headbangers, Mosh and Thrasher. Mosh is the one that was Chaz. Thrasher's the taller, skinnier one,
right?
Which is Glenn Ruth is his name.
As long as they look good, I won't matter.
Yes, one of them works for a gym. I don't know if he owns it, but he definitely works in it. He's definitely a trainer and stuff like that. The other one, I don't know what he does, but still looks in good shape. So, but obviously they're just coming in for a one-off, so you know with the story that Heath and Rhino have to at least win one.
Yes, but they have to win the tag team titles for Heath to get a contract. So we'll see.
So Heath and Rhino have to win this first match against supposedly going to be the Headbangers. Then they have to go on next to face either the Vaudevillains or
Hype
Bros. Which I would think it's going to be the Vaudevillains because you already got two faces with American Alpha and what's the other team? And the Usos. They're both face teams. So that's where I think they would be going, is the Vaudevillains would beat the Hype Bros. Which Zack Ryder's still a jobber, isn't that great? Losing to jobbers because that's all Vaudevillains have been doing.
Yeah.
And then I think the Vaudevillains will lose to Rhino and Heath Slater because I think they're at least going to get to the finals. They may not win the finals, but they're at least going to get to the finals to do that whole Cinderella story, you know?
Yeah.
And then it'll be Heath and it'll be Rhino taking on American Alpha. That's where I think they're going with it.
And then the only way for them to beat them would be for the Usos to be pissed that they got beat by the new team and cost them the tag team titles.
Which would be good. I don't think Rhino and Heath do not need to lose. I mean, not need to win cleanly. I think the Usos.
You can't win cleanly on American Alphas because that would kill everything they've done.
Yes, I think if the Usos are going to turn heel, which would be fine with me. They may, or they may just be pissed and do it that way. But I think it would turn them heel either way. If you mess with American Alpha, you're going to be a heel.
Because like I said, they're done playing with each other because they tagged themselves in to win the other.
That's true. So that's where we're going with this. So I think the Usos, if they do that, they need to. One needs to be distracted. One needs to get hit with a move, and then they turn around and get hit with the gore. Yeah. Heath Slater does not need to hit a move because it needs to be Rhino doing the work.
Yeah, that's true.
Rhino's got to do the work to make the storyline be number one funny and number two make sense.
So he can pay for an above ground swimming pool
for his 12 kids. And I think that it'd be funny. Rhino hits the gore, but right before he hits the gore, Heath tagged himself in. So the gore hits, and then Heath gets the pin.
Yeah.
That's the way it needs to go down. It'd be funny.
He becomes tag team champions and gets the contract.
Which will make him a 3-time tag team champion, I do believe. Because him and David Otunga were tag team champions.
It would be, because I think it said 2 times when we talk about it.
Which is funny, he's on commentary on SmackDown. Isn't that interesting?
It is, that's funny.
So now we got SummerSlam results as we have talked enough.
Yeah.
12-man tag team match. American Alpha, the Hype Bros, and the Usos beat Breezango? Is that how you say it? Breezango? The Ascension and the Vaudevillains in a kickoff match.
We had Sami Zayn and Neville defeat the Dudley Boys in a kickoff match.
Their final match.
Their final pre-show match.
Which is a very odd pairing.
A kickoff match. Excuse me, no pre-show.
Oh. And then a best-of-7 series opener. Cesaro taking on Sheamus, and the winner was Sheamus, so 1-0 in this kickoff match. I think that if they do them all on the number one, if they do it all on the they're going to do some on SmackDown, but
no, they're not on SmackDown. They're all Raw.
Same thing.
They're doing another one. The second match is this Monday.
This coming up Monday. Yes, they skipped a week on Raw. I always forget because they make me think of SmackDown when I hear their names.
Cesaro should be on SmackDown.
He should be on SmackDown. I think they messed up on that one. But anyway, so either way, it's going to come down to the 7th match, and
of course.
The 7th match better not be the kickoff. I'm just saying that'd be really stupid and really bad because right now it makes it look like this.
Because when Cesaro was talking when he got interviewed that it is for a title shot. But what title is the Universal title?
He said World Heavyweight title, which don't make no sense.
No.
Unless he wins it and jumps to the other brand, that'd be hilarious.
We start off the pay-per-view with Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens, or I forgot their names.
You sent me a thing with their name.
Jericho, that's what it was.
Jericho. He always puts his little name with everybody. Remember it was
Jericho.
Jericho.
And there's also someone Miz too. No, Miz was the Big Show.
Miz was the Big Show.
Jericho and somebody else was another.
I can't remember now. But anyway, who they beat?
They beat Enzo and Cass. Took the big loss.
Yes, but they're building up for something else, I think. That's why I don't think Kevin Owens will be the champion. Unless they totally change all storylines. But it does make sense to keep Cass in the match with Kevin Owens. Maybe they're the two that fight off and leave out of the match. Because they're in this feud right here.
But if they want to be smart, I would put it on Kevin Owens or Seth.
Yes, well, Kevin Owens would be a shocker.
Kevin Owens will fall in this Finn Balor category. People love him, even though he's a bad guy.
That's true. But up next, we got the WWE Women's title match, which I think was a little early.
But a shocker.
But a shocker as Sasha Banks lost her championship back to Charlotte. Because Sasha Banks apparently had a back injury that was not as severe as they thought it was.
No, but it's bad enough. That's why they gave her the title the first time. Because I bet she's supposed to win here. And they switched it up and said, okay, we just hold it.
Go ahead and get it. And so you can at least have one reign before you have to leave.
Well, the Intercontinental title match next for the SmackDown brand is The Miz. The Intercontinental Champion defeated Apollo Crews.
Which I was happy with that because I don't think Apollo Crews is ready for that. I think they need to build up some more on SmackDown.
But it took a head to the ring post and then skull crushing finale to take him out. So it did make Crews look bad.
There you go. And another early match on here was John Cena taking on AJ Styles, and John Cena took the clean pin. AJ Styles won again in their feud, and John Cena put his armband that says never give up in the middle of the ring, so everybody's speculating what that means.
But this was the match of the night.
It was the match of the night.
Your next match was the WWE World Heavyweight title as your champion Dean Ambrose beat Dolph Ziggler.
And to me, the match did not deliver as the hype did.
No.
There was a lot of hype to it. I love the I told you I loved all the promos.
Yeah.
They did great at the promos, but the match itself did not deliver. And it may have been because it was right after John Cena and AJ Styles.
Yeah, that's take the win out of the sales. They were rocking and rolling for Styles and Cena.
Both of those matches are very early, in my opinion. Yeah. But then the tag team title match, the New Day versus the Club. The Club won by disqualification because Big E returned, so now we get a rematch with them.
Yes, hopefully the Club can take the tag team title.
Yes, because they've only been champions, 400-something days?
300-something.
Same thing.
The next match was a 6-woman tag team matches. Carmella, Becky Lynch, and Naomi took on Natalya, Alexa Bliss, and the returning Nikki Bella. After 10 months away, she finally returned.
Well, it don't feel like it was that long.
And she got the win for her team.
Very good. I thought that was a little late on the show. I think that and the women's title should have been swapped. But then again, I guess they didn't want all these really good matches up against each other. But either way, I think they build up these matches so well for the SummerSlam that it hurt. It honestly hurt it.
Yes. Because
there were so many good matches up against each other that the match afterwards kind of died down and it didn't deliver as much. But then you had the WWE Universal title match, which this match did deliver.
It was very good, yes.
The winner becomes the first ever champion for the Raw brand, and Seth Rollins lost to Finn Balor, who was the new champion. And like we already said, he had to give the title up. And Seth Rollins is now in the Fatal 4-Way. But this next match most definitely was in the wrong spot.
Yeah, it was. It was the WWE United States Championship match. Your champion Rusev took on Roman Reigns to a no contest.
The match never even really started.
No, it was beating and banging around, nothing.
Which, in my opinion, you have two matches back to back that are really a no contest.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, because the main event was, we already said we thought this would make sense because it's a interpromotional brand pay-per-view, interpromotional match, and it was Brock Lesnar taking on Randy Orton, and Brock Lesnar won by a TKO. It was supposed to apparently go down like this.
That's what they said.
With less blood. I don't know. But they're saying that it was all a work, and that Brock supposedly knew how to cut him open with his elbow without really hurting him, but he looked like he took some legit
12
shots.
stitches is not very,
Yeah, it's not, hey, I'll cut you open without really hurting you. That looked pretty legit when he was hitting him. But Brock and Randy Orton, yes, I get that they were in that spot, but technically almost like two matches that kind of ended lackluster, back to back. So in my opinion, the U.S. title should have jumped up to maybe where Dean and Dolph were. And I think Dean and Dolph being down there with the U.S. title match maybe would have helped Dean and Dolph's match.
Could have been, yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't know, but they definitely should have put the U.S. title right there.
No, but the match of the night was Cena and AJ.
Oh,
they definitely, John surprised me.
Which I'm glad they didn't put that anywhere near Brock and Randy, because that would have messed up
Yeah.
John Cena and AJ Styles. So.
That is true. Well, that is it for part 1, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back with pay-per-view review as we go over Backlash.
Which apparently you people love.
2005, 6, and 7.
Love.
These left. Trying to get to 9 and 16.
It's true.
So let's think of something new to come up with. Come on back here to Top Rope Brown Mike Hogan.
I'm just a cop.
We'll see in a few clicks.